Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Great Learning, the YouTube live session of Great Learning. Okay. Today we have a session for the topic which is Introduction to AngularJS. As you can see the heading, yes. So we will be looking more about what is AngularJS. Yes. And if anybody is not having any idea what is AngularJS, this is the best session for you. Okay. Now, before we begin, I want a quick yes in the chat box. I can see 24 people are watching this live session. I quickly want a yes from all of you so that I can understand that audio is clear and the video is visible. So I am looking into the chat section. Quickly give me a yes if you can hear me properly. Okay, till now I'm not getting any yeses. Can you please, guys, please give me a yes if my audio is perfect. Okay, great. Thank you, Shankar. Thank you, Adarsh. Thank you, Dhruv. Perfect. So audio is good. Now, before starting this session, I quickly want you to introduce a free initiative by Great Learning, which is Great Learning Academy. Okay, now what is this Great Learning Academy? Many of you must be knowing about this. Those who are very frequent in watching our YouTube live sessions, you must be knowing what is Great Learning Academy. But people who are very new in this video, please search in Google Great Learning Academy and click on the very first link. Now, when you scroll down, you will get an ample amount of courses here. Some of them are in very famous domains like data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence. And suppose if I click on data science, you can see an ample amount of courses are available here. And yes, you are seeing it right. This is for free. So you have to just click on enroll for free and you can go through the courses. Once you complete it, you will get a free certificate. Now, I hope most of the audience here is engineers. You must be knowing the value of a certificate, right? So when you will enroll for it and you gain a certificate, you can put it in your LinkedIn profiles and your resume and it will give value to it, right? Okay. Now, most important fact about this Great Learning Academy is some of you must be looking for an Hindi course, right? Because कुछ होंगे जो नो हिंदी में बहुत comfortable है, right? So click on these courses in Hindi and you can see you have again here amount of courses which is in Hindi, right? So quickly go and register yourself and log in and just search for your favorite course and enroll it for free and get the certification done, right? Now the question will be where you will get the link. So in the YouTube description, you will get that direct link. You can just click on it and you will be directed towards this page. Okay. And also keep an eye on the chat box. Time to time, my team will be giving you the link in the chat box so you can directly click on it also. Perfect. So let's begin our topic for today, which is Introduction to AngularJS. Okay. Now, yes, thank you, Aniket. Clear audio. Perfect. I will be watching this chat now and then. So guys, if you have any doubts, please give me a chat here, okay? I'll be looking into it and I'll answer that. Perfect. So let's begin. First of all, let's see what is the agenda for today. So first we will be looking into the prerequisites, like what do you need to know before knowing AngularJS, right? What things you should be knowing, what languages you should be known about, right? Next is why AngularJS. So why do we need AngularJS? What is AngularJS? That's a very valid question, right? You guys are here to get to know what is AngularJS. Now, some of you must be knowing about it. Some of you are very new to this, right? So we will see. We'll see what is it. Okay. Fourth one, features of AngularJS. That's also a very valid point. You should know what are the features that AngularJS provides. AngularJS architecture. Now, I'll just give a hint here. The term is MVC. Now, I don't know if some of you must be knowing about MVC. That's what we are going to talk about in AngularJS architecture. Fundamentals of AngularJS, companies using AngularJS, advantages, limitations, and this is a very important point, guys. Current and future scope. I want you guys to be here till the end of the session because the last topic is very important, current and future scope. You guys must be here because you want to know whether you should take AngularJS as your career domain or not, right? So in the 10th part, in the 10th agenda, I will be talking about what is the current scope and future scope in AngularJS field, right? So please watch this video till end and do hit like button if you like this session. Perfect. Let's begin. Quickly, we'll go to the prerequisites. Now, those who are already from CS background or those who are already from coding background, you must be knowing about this first language, which is HTML5, right? Now, HTML is based on web development, right? So you can design and structure your web page. Okay, you have several tags and elements which you can use to design your web page. Okay, this is one thing which you need to know before learning AngularJS. Okay, what next? The next is we have CSS. Okay, now CSS is also we use to do for web development. Now this is used for styling the web page. Talking about HTML, it is used for designing. That means you can give a structure to your web page. That means just like a body is having a skeleton, right? Our body is just having a skeleton. That means it's just the structure. Now, when you wear some colorful t-shirts and then you have your eyes, nose, ears, that's where you do the styling to your body, right? That's where you're combing your hair in a very perfect manner, right? Styling yourself, right? That is what is CSS. So the same thing we do it in our web pages. We style it. We make it look attractive and wonderful. Yes or no? Yes. I hope most of you will be connecting with me, right? So please give me a yes if you understood till here. Perfect. Now, let's go to our next. What do we need? We need JS, which is JavaScript. Now, this is very important before you deep dive into AngularJS. What is JS? Now, it adds behavior. Okay. Let's quickly replay. So, when I talk about HTML, it is for designing. That is our skeleton. When I talk about CSS, it is our styling, which is making us look attractive. When I talk about JavaScript, it is behavior. That means how we behave. Right now I am teaching you guys, so that's my behavior. You guys are learning, so that's your behavior. You guys must be eating something, or maybe you are taking a rest. That's your behavior. Like that, the web page also behaves, right? Okay. We have talked about three things: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's have a look at this web page, which is again our free initiative, Great Learning Academy. Let's see what is HTML here. Can you see these headings? And can you see these headings here? These all text things which is written. These all are design, right? So that means this is done by a HTML. Okay. Now, when you see all the colors, you can obviously see a Virat Kohli picture here. So that's also like style only, right? So you can see the colors here. You can see the colors of blue, white, and then you have an image here. Such attractive it is looking, right? It's like I want to go to this web page and have a look what is there, right? So this is happening because of CSS. Now, but what is JS? What is JavaScript? Now, as soon as I click on login or sign up, my web page is behaving, right? You can see when I click something, suppose if I click on this for college students, when I click on this, see my web page is behaving. I'm not doing anything, but my web page is behaving. Yes, you can see again, if I click on college subjects, it behaved. It did something on its own, right? Okay, this is the best time to tell you that yes, for college students also we have these courses. So for job preparation and college subjects, please go through it and have a look. Okay, I hope I'm clear with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Quickly, please give me a yes, and if you have any doubts. I'll wait for some 2 minutes. I quickly want to see whether you understood what I told using, by giving a practical example. Okay, Atul is continuously replying. Perfect. Yes, Swastik is saying yes. Okay, perfect. You guys, if you have any, request from us that you want live session on this domain, please write it in the chat box. We will work on it. Okay, we will see and we will record it, and maybe we can come with that live session very quickly, right? Okay, great Atul, great Kalpana, great Neeraj, perfect. Let's move ahead now. These are very basics, right? HTML, hypertext markup language, CSS, cascading style sheet, JS, JavaScript. Even 12th student kid is having these things in their syllabus, right? Okay, let's learn something new. What are SPAs? Now, what is SPA? Meaning of SPA is single page applications. Okay, now you must be wondering what Ritvik sir is saying single page application. What is this? Okay, let me take you to one example of Amazon.com. Obviously, you must be using Amazon.com, right? For online shopping. Right now, you guys are in your home, so it's a very great time to shop, right? Okay, you can see this is the Amazon.com. Quickly, I will answer some questions here. When jQuery is used, Pragati Swaran. Yes, I will be telling you when jQuery is used in my later, after some 15 or 20 minutes. So please be there. I will be talking about jQuery also. Full stack on JavaScript based website. Perfect. My team will note it and we will come back with it. Difference between Angular, React and Vue. Very good question, Pranav. Yes, we will come up with this particular thing also. Just keep on writing. Surabhi Goyal, sir, what is the full form of CSS? Surabhi, the CSS full form is cascading style sheet. Okay, cascading style sheet. Full stack on JavaScript based website would be great, like Mean or Mun. Perfect. Yes, I think Mean will be perfect, where Express.js will also be there. We'll discuss it later on. Can you explain JS in detail? Very good. Yes, I will do that. Now, talking about JS first of all. So, Dhruv Patel, whenever you click on something, okay, suppose when I click on sign up, can you see the web page is behaving? Like something coming up again, right? It is not the same page. Something comes up again. That means when I'm doing something, web page knows that I want him to do something, right? So it opens up another page. That means my web page is behaving. Okay, let's make it simple for you, Dhruv. Suppose if I tell you that go and have a drink of water. Have a glass of water, right? So what you will do? First, your brain will take it, right? Your brain will say that sir is saying you have to go to kitchen and you have to drink a glass of water, right? And then you will go ahead and you will do that. Same thing happens here. When I'm clicking on login, web page knows that the user wants you to do something. How? Because of JavaScript. So I'm telling him that, I want you to open the login page. And he does that for me. That's where the behavior comes. That's where the JavaScript comes. I hope, Dhruv, I explained JS. Okay, quickly let's move to my topic, which is single page application. Guys, please look here. This is very important topic to understand, right? The whole thing is based on this only. Okay, the whole AngularJS concept is based on this. Okay, have a look at this page, this Amazon website. If you click on mobiles, the page is loading here, right? And it again opens your mobile section. When I click on bestsellers, it again reload and it takes you to bestsellers, right? When I click on electronics, again the web page will reload and it will take you to electronics section. Correct? Come back to this slide. When I'm requesting for www.amazon.com to the server, I hope you guys know what is client and server. Client is basically us, the customer, and the server is basically maybe in the cloud database, or just for every company where the data is stored. So I'm requesting for www.amazon.com and I get a response. What response? Home page response. And when I request for page X means maybe electronics. So the response for page X will come. And when I request for an item in the search box, let's suppose I'm searching something for, t-shirt. When I search it again, it will go to server and it will come back with a request page with that item result. So every time you are clicking, it is going to the server, coming back. It is going to the server, coming back. Right? Every time that is happening. That is what we call it as multiple page applications. Because every time you are clicking, it is going to the server and coming back. Again, it is going to the server and coming back. Now read these points here. Multiple page requests sent to server every time we click. Client page getting loaded again and again. Yes, that's what was happening when I was showing you that, right? Hence, such pages are low on speed. So pages are low on speed. Okay, if you have opened several web pages, several websites, it will take time to load. This is all about multiple page applications. What about single web page applications? Okay, let's take an example of this. The same way how I have shown you the Amazon.com, we can go to Google, or we can go to Gmail also. There are several websites. Okay, now in this Google website, there are not so much link, but you can see these two. Now when I click on Gmail or when I click on images, the page will not load. So what happens here? Okay, let me show you this. When you request for www.gmail.com, it goes to the server, comes up not only with the home page, but with the entire app package. That means the whole application will come up from the server. It's not that only that home page HTML page will come. No, the whole entire package will come. That means if you are requesting for any data, you will get the data directly. That means if I'm clicking on any of the links here, it is not going to server. It will be still here only. If I click on any of these, it will be in this page itself. It is not going to the server. Okay. I hope you understood. One better example for this is YouTube. Yes. When you click on these buttons, this trending, is it loading? See here, I'm clicking on subscription. Is it loading? No, right? It is happening internally. That means when I requested youtube.com to the server, the whole package came, correct? Perfect. I hope you guys understood this. Now that is what is single page application. Okay? Perfect. What is the difference between AngularJS and Angular? So yes, AngularJS and Angular, there is a difference, and I will be discussing this in the last section, which is current and future scope. So Pragati Swaran and Nancy Gupta, please be there till the last session, till the last of this session, because I'll be telling you about what is the need of Angular and AngularJS. Okay? Now, I hope you guys are clear with SPAs, which is single page application. Now the question arises, why AngularJS? Your answer, I think most of you. Okay, Atul Pandey is saying, but it will go to the server. Atul, when you're writing youtube.com, yes, it will go to the server. But when you're clicking the inside buttons of that youtube.com, it won't go to the server. It will just be reloaded there itself. Because once you write youtube.com, the whole package comes from the server. And that is why it is called a single page application. Okay, great. Now, is JavaScript ideal for SPAs? Can we use JavaScript to make this single page applications? Is it ideal? No. Only JS is not ideal for single page applications. We have variety of frameworks and libraries instead, which will make it possible for JavaScript to create single page applications. Okay, and one of those frameworks are AngularJS. I hope you're clear why we need AngularJS, right? So for creating single page applications, we need a framework. It won't happen using JS or CSS or HTML alone. We need a framework. Question arises, what is framework? Right? What is framework? Okay, let's take a quick real world example of explaining framework. Okay, all of you are living in your houses, right? Right? And your house is having a basic structure, right? Kitchen, washroom, bed, yes? And that is what making your life easy. Imagine that you have only one room and everything, kitchen stuffs, bedroom stuffs, washroom, everything is inside that one room. It will be very complex to live in, right? But when you have a basic structure of your home, it's very easy for you to live. That is what is framework. So framework provides you a platform with a basic structure so that any language, HTML, CSS or JavaScript, you can use there very easily. And using that, you can develop some single page applications. I hope you are clear with the what is framework question, right? Okay, let me quickly answer your questions. Can we use Angular with SQL Server? Yes, see, Angular is having its own localhost server, okay? And SQL is also having its own localhost server. So yes, you can use it. I have created many projects based on that. So yes, this was for Jahir. Okay, Nancy Gupta, what is the difference between localhost and server? Okay, now see, Nancy, server is something which is, you can also see it. It is a physical thing and it can also be a non-physical thing. Okay. Now, if you go to YouTube and you just search there, Google Data Center or Facebook server, let me just do it for you. Okay. I'm into YouTube and I'll just write here. Very good question, by the way, Nancy. So I'm just going to take it down. See, if I type Facebook server, can you see this? Now this is a Facebook data center. I will prefer you please guys watch this video. You will get an idea how does the server look like, and you will be amazed to see what is space these servers are acquiring. Now Nancy, in front of you, you have the servers. So now you know what is server. Okay, talking about localhost. Localhost is something which you can see here. Okay, now this is the domain website www.youtube.com. Localhost is something which will be only for us, for our system. Okay, so for our system, we'll have a localhost which will go to the server and then it will respond back. Okay, so we write the localhost, maybe some number, that is a port number, and we will get something, okay, in the result. Okay, that is our localhost. Right now I don't have anything, so it is just saying site can't be reached. Okay, next question. Angular is JavaScript language and AngularJS is framework. Yes, Neeraj, you are correct, but to make it more, easier for you, stick till the last of this session. I will be differentiating about both of them. Yes, Jahir, thank you so much. Yes, Nancy, thank you. Aniket, my network is weak. Can you make this video offline? I will see after 11. This will be there. Anytime you can watch it, no problem. Okay, should we move to the next slide now? I hope till here, no doubt. Okay, the question, what is AngularJS, right? Fine. Till now, we have discussed, right? So you know that AngularJS is an open source JavaScript framework. Yes, open source means that you can easily download it. It's downloadable. It will not ask for any, money or something, right? Okay, it is maintained by Google. For your information, AngularJS is maintained by Google. It uses HTML syntax to express applications component clearly. That is what I said. Prerequisites, HTML. You have to have an understanding what is HTML before you learn AngularJS. It is designed for web, desktop, and mobile platforms. So yes, you can design applications using AngularJS for the desktop applications or mobile platforms, anything. It is completely written in TypeScript. Now, time comes where I'm using the word TypeScript. Many of you have heard about JavaScript, and just now I told what is JavaScript very clearly, right? But then what is TypeScript? Now, JavaScript is the subset of TypeScript. That means first TypeScript came and then JavaScript. Okay. Now, when I talk about that, TypeScript is 90% JavaScript. Okay. TypeScript is 90% same as JavaScript. The only difference is in TypeScript, we don't declare the variables. But in JavaScript, we do declare the variables. Okay, that is why it is said TypeScript are a strongly typed language. Strongly typed means you don't have to write var a equal to 10. You can directly write a equal to 10. Okay, same thing goes to JavaScript also. Okay, so in JavaScript, you have to write var. You have to declare it. You have to declare the variable. Okay. That's the most common difference. Otherwise, 90% TypeScript is JavaScript. Last point, AngularJS is primarily aimed to develop single page application. That is why I covered the topic single page application before itself. Okay, great. Let me answer some questions again. So basically people called PHP admin as localhost. Why? See, this is not only for PHP admin. This is for all the languages which is a framework, or you're working with framework, or you're working with localhost. Whenever you will work with a framework or a localhost part, you will be considering the localhost itself. I will be showing it to you right now, maybe after 10 minutes, how and what is localhost. I will be using that, so don't worry. Hey Aniket, thank you. Sir, WordPress is one source, but Angular is one source. Both are same. WordPress, you can use HTML or you can use WordPress. So WordPress is also used for web development, and this HTML is also used for web development. So what one source for both are same. Yeah, you can say that. Open source. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, yes, open source, correct. I didn't see the chart. Fine, okay. Before going into features of AngularJS, guys, if you are liking this session, I request you to please hit the like button and please subscribe if you are new to this channel, okay? Please subscribe it. It will help us to get you more, more languages, more sessions on different languages, and whatever you guys are asking, like please do a session on this and that. We can come up to this and that session only when you will subscribe our channel and when you will hit the like button. So please do that. Let's continue with features of AngularJS. Okay. Now I'm going to just read these. These are some of the AngularJS features. Not going to explain each one of them because I will explain it when I'll do it practically, right? So data binding is nothing but, you can see the word itself, right? The two data or the two or more data can be binded together. Architecture, directives. What are directives? What are directives? So see, JS is not having much of its own thing. Now when I'm saying about own thing, that means every language is having some predefined functions, some of the things which they are already having. We need not have to work upon it. They already have it. AngularJS is having an ample amount of directives. So that means they have an ample amount of predefined things. You have to just use it. You have to just use it. I'll show you. Have a look here. So when you directly go to angularjs.org, you can see here, this is the official web page of AngularJS, okay? Now, if you click on this develop, can you see this develop section? If you go to this developer guide or API reference, let's say API reference, and when you scroll down, can you see directive? Now, these are some of the things which are already there in the AngularJS. You can use any of them to make your web application. Using these things, you can easily make your web application very creative and attractive. Okay, these are some functionalities. These are some directives which are provided by AngularJS, and this is a very great feature of AngularJS, right? Okay, what next? It is not browser specific. It can run in any browser. Okay, so suppose an application you have created using AngularJS, you can open it in any browser. Example, Google, Gmail. These websites I can open in any browser, right? Have you ever heard any complaint regarding this? No, right? So that is what. Codeless. Codeless means there will be less coding. Speed and performance. It will be very great when you use AngularJS instead of only JavaScript. The reason is directives, because they have directly the directives, so it is very easy to directly go and do the execution of a program. Dependency injection, deep linking, routing. Routing is nothing but when you go from one web page to another. Remember I showed you youtube.com, and when I clicked on these, one second, yeah, so when I click on this trending subscriptions, it is taking you to another page, right? That is what is routing. You are routing one path to another path. That is what is called as routing, right? Routes. Yes. Remember guys, in programming languages, every term, please connect it with real world. If you'll connect it with real world, it will be very easy for you to understand. Route is nothing but when you are traveling, you must be saying whether I should take this route or that route, right? Routes are what? Linking one route to another, right? Same thing happens here. We are linking one web page to another web page. That is what is routing. Easy, right? Perfect. Productivity. Yes, it will increase the productivity also. Okay. Let me quickly answer your questions. Looks like recorded video. This is an ancient version of Angular. Current version is probably Angular 8 or 9. And he's teaching 1.0. I'm not sure if angularjs.org even exists. Okay. It was not easy. See, yes, I'm taking AngularJS as the topic, and I know this is the very first, you can say, a framework. Right now, they have come up with Angular 8 and 9. Yes, you're correct. But don't you think learn AngularJS, it will be much more easier for you to learn Angular 8 and 9. That's not a random opinion. That is my personal opinion. I have done it like that. I know Angular 8 and 9 and I started with AngularJS because it was much more easier for me to learn this and then jump to Angular 8 or 9 because this is the first version, right? So when you know the basics, then you can jump to the harder topics. It will be much easier for you to learn. If you'll directly go and learn Angular 8 or 9, you will learn it, but it will take a longer time. And what if you're just doing it 50%, right? That is why we have come up with this session, guys. If we are already coming with Angular 8 or 9, that's a very direct thing, right? We are just saying to jump. We don't want that, right? We want to give you the materials from the scratch. And I don't know you are sure or not, but I just now showed you angularjs.org and it was there, right guys? You have seen that. And don't worry, many companies are still using AngularJS. I will show you that. So don't worry about that. It is not a recorded video. Yes, thank you, Madhav. Okay, did he tell which version of AngularJS he's teaching? This is AngularJS, okay? And if you talk about the version, so it's Angular 1.0x, okay? I'm not using the term Angular 1.0x because this is AngularJS, the very first version of Angular, okay? So this is very famous as AngularJS rather than Angular 1.0, okay? Yes, you are correct. AngularJS, Angular are different. They are totally different. But when you start with AngularJS, you must be knowing about modules, directives, controllers. That's the same thing there also, right? So I'm saying the basics you will understand. Okay, let's move to the architecture, guys. So this is very important now. Okay, let's first understand this real world example, okay? Now, what happens when you go to a cafe or a restaurant? You are the customer, right? Waiter will come to you. Okay, 1 second. Where is my mouse? Yeah, sorry. So waiter will come to you. He will take the order. Obviously, you will give the order, and then the waiter will go back to the chef where the kitchen is there, and he will tell the chef that you want this or that. Suppose the customer, you have ordered maybe tea, 1 cup of tea. So what chef will do? Chef will go to the ingredients. He will take milk, tea leaves, water, sugar, cardamom, anything. and he will start preparing the tea, right? Then he will give it to the waiter. The waiter will come back and give it to the customer. That's what happens in a normal restaurant, right? Again, I'm going to repeat this. So waiter will come to the customer, ask for what you want to have. Customer will say something and it will go to the waiter. The waiter will go back to the chef in the kitchen. Chef will prepare the item and he will give it to the waiter. The waiter will again give it to the customer. That's what normally happens, right? Now in AngularJS, if we talk about the architecture, same thing happens here also. The only thing is the customer is the view. That means what you will be looking in the web application, what you will be looking at the website. Controller is the waiter. So he'll be doing all the tasks, taking it something from here, something from there, moving it here and there. That is what the controller does. Then we talk about model, that is the chef. That means he will play with the data. He will play with what ingredients you need. So that's our model. And that is what is called as MVC, Model View Controller, right? So this is the basic concept and architecture of AngularJS. That is, this is what happens when you talk about MVC. So Model View Controller is the MVC architecture. Model means you have to play with the data. Controller will control those data and view will show those data in the web application. Okay. Now this is a very unique and very new concept which came with AngularJS. Okay. So please stick to this. Okay. Now let's talk about fundamentals of AngularJS. It says here that we have to first install Nodejs and npm to start with AngularJS. Now, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to directly go to command prompt, okay? And I'm going to search here whether I have a node or npm or not. How can you do that? You can write node -v. When you will do that and hit enter, you can see it says node is not recognized as an internal or external command. Okay, let's see what about npm. npm -v. Okay, it says npm is also not recognized as an internal or external command. That means I don't have Nodejs and npm. So let's just download it, right? Now what's written in the slide? It's written verify that you're running at least node.js version 13.x or greater and npm version 5.x or greater. Okay, so we have the latest one here. I'm going to just click on it and it will get downloaded, right? So it will take some time. Till then, let's see what is next. Now the question arises here is, why do we need Node.js? Why is it important to download Node.js? It is important to download Angular, right? But why Node.js? Okay. See, our browser understands only JavaScript, okay? Our browser understands mostly JavaScript. But when we will use Angular, it will be written in TypeScript. You have learned in the features, right? In the features, I showed you that it is written mostly in TypeScript, correct? Now, when I use the Angular with the TypeScript language, our application won't understand that. Because he can only understand JavaScript, right? Now, we have to convert our TypeScript, or we have to transpile our TypeScript into JavaScript. Okay? And that will only happen using transpiler. Using transpiler. Transpiler needs Node.js. That is why we are downloading Node.js and npm. So when we download Node.js and npm, transpiler will wake up and he will say, now I'm there. I can convert your TypeScript into JavaScript and your web page application will work fine. right? Let me see if it is downloaded. Yes, it is downloaded. Let me just open it and quickly let's install this, right? Don't worry, this will be there in our YouTube channel so you can see the steps what I'm doing. This is a very basic steps. You have to just click on next and install. Okay, let me go through the chats again. Hi everyone, can you tell me what going on just now? I reach. Yes, the Clark family, Amisha. We have just seen a few things about AngularJS. Okay, my Node.js is downloaded. Let me again open my command prompt and let's check whether it is there or not. Yes, you can see. Now it is telling me the version name. And also let's check about npm. Guys, you don't have to install npm separately. It will be downloaded and installed with Node.js. Okay, so you can see the latest version, which is 6.14, is available here. So it is showing me that, right? Okay, let's see what next. So now we have to install our Angular CLI, command line interface. That's the very main thing, right? We have the transpiler, we have the Node.js. Now we need the Angular, right? So we have in the command prompt, we have to write here npm install -g @Angular CLI. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell this what is this, okay? So npm is node package manager, right? Then install is the keyword to install the Angular. -g is nothing but global, okay? And then Angular CLI. So once I do that, it will start downloading. Some warnings will come, no need to worry. Till the time any error comes, that's where you'll get into trouble. But warnings are nothing. You will get some warnings. Okay, let it happen. Okay, till the time it is happening, let's move to the next slide and let's see what do we have next. Okay, once Angular CLI is installed, we have to create a new application. Okay, so it should get installed now. It will not take much time. Oh, great. So you can see now. I hope you can see here Angular CLI 11.0.4. Added 254 packages from 2001 contributors, right? So it is now downloaded, correct? Okay. Now what we have to do now? Once Angular CLI is installed, create a new app and run the command. What I'm going to do, I'm going to write here cd desktop because I want to create my application in the desktop. Okay, I want to create my project in the desktop. Now I'm going to create the new app here. So ng new, and I'm going to write here first app. Okay, now when I do that, it is asking something. I'll just say yes. Again, it is asking, would you like to add Angular routing? Yes, I want to add this, so yes. And it is asking whether you want to use CSS, SCSS, Sass, Less, and Stylus. I am pretty much familiar with CSS, so I'll go with that. Now it is creating my application. Can you see that? It is creating my application. Once it is done, it will say that your application is created. Okay, once again, you cannot see my CMD. Okay, one second. One second, let me check. One second, guys. I think some problem is there. Just 1 second, wait. Okay, sorry guys. I hope now you can see the CMD. Yes, guys, you can see the CMD now, right? Yes, okay. Sorry, maybe there was some problem when I opened CMD. No worries, let me show you again. So, to check whether you have the node or not, you are going to do this. Okay, you are getting the version here. And once you write npm -v, you will be checking your node package manager. So you'll be getting that version itself. Fine. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to create a new application. So I'm going to write here ng new. Okay. And okay, 1 second. I don't want to create it here. I want to create it in the desktop. So I'm going to write here cd desktop. And then I'm going to create the application here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to write. Can you see this? ng new, name of the app, right? Now it will start down creating my application. It will ask some questions. You can just say yes. Okay, so I think my application is already created. That is why it is giving error. So what I can do, I can directly go to my desktop and see if the application is created. Can you see here? This application is already created. I'm just going to open this. I'm going to click here. I'm going to write here CMD. Now it will directly open me that location. Yes, you can see that. Now, to run my application, I will directly write here ng serve. Okay, when I do that, AngularJS is already come up with its default browser. Okay, so it will run its default browser automatically. Fine. Now, if you see this, it is compiling. Can you see? So that means my code is getting compiled. Yes, I have not written any code, but AngularJS is giving me a default code already, and that is what it is compiling. Now once it's done, can you see it is saying Angular live development server is listening on localhost 4200. Now some of you are asking me, sir, what is localhost? Can you see? This web page is listening on this link here. What I have to do, I have to copy this. I can go to my browser. I can just write here, and you can see first app is running. What was my app name? My app name was first app, right? Just have a look. See, My app name was first app, and you can see it is in the server and it is saying here first app is running. Now this particular page is totally default by AngularJS. Okay, so this is already available to you. Now where is the code for this? Where is the code for this, right? Okay, let me quickly again go to my folder and right here I will write cmd. I'll open it again and I'm going to write here code.slash. What is the meaning of code.slash? It will open my Visual Studio, the software, and you can see here comes my code for that program. Okay, so here is what all the codes are written. I'll just show you. Can you see this? This is the HTML page. Have a look. This is the whole HTML page because of which that web page is coming there. Have a look here. Okay, so everything is written here. Every code is written. I didn't write anything. This is the default web page for AngularJS. Okay, and that is from where it is coming here, right? Okay, now this is the basic fundamentals of AngularJS. Okay, how can you install? Sorry for the interruption for the command line. I don't know what happened, but I think now you got an idea. So you can see here, when you run the Angular app, it will run directly to this localhost 4200. Okay, now have a look at this Visual Studio. I'm going to just make it more bigger to you. Now let's understand what is here. Okay, have a look here. The index.html and main.ts is the main file. Okay, these two are the main file. Now when you go to main.ts, this is a TypeScript. Can you see that? Now if you look here, this main.ts is bootstrapping what? Is bootstrapping app module. So it will directly move to app module, which is here. Can you see this? When I come to this, it is bootstrapping what? It is bootstrapping app component. So it will directly go to app component. Now in the app component, what is the title given? Is given first app, right? It is given first app. And when I go to my HTML, and if you look here, the title is given here. In my TS file, I have written title equal to first app, right? And when I go to my HTML, this title is given here, and that is what is coming there. First app is running. That is what is showing here. What if I change this? So what if I make this as something else? Suppose I write Ritvik. What happens then? Let's see. Okay, you can see it is not getting connected because the connection interrupt because of command prompt. Okay, I have not run it here, right? I have not run it, so I have to write ng-serve. It will again compile and will again have to reload that. Then only you'll be able to see Ritvik app is running. Okay. Yes, compiled successfully. Now I can reload. Can you see here Ritvik app is running? That's what is the power of AngularJS, right? That is what is the feature of AngularJS. So this is called as data binding. You're binding the two datas here, right? Okay. Don't worry about these things. I'm going to tell you what are those. Just have a look. So you can see this was the screen which is visible, right? Now this four things are nothing but the basic structure. Remember I told you framework is a basic structure, right? The basic structure. So you can see here, this HTML, CSS, these all are the basic structure. Root project folder. What is asset? Asset, inside asset you can put all the images. Whatever images you want to bring in your web application, you can put it there. And this index.html and main.ts is the main file, the entry point of the application. Okay, this flow I have already talked about how it goes, right? From main.ts bootstraps app.module, app.module bootstraps app.component, then app.component is rendering the file which is the HTML file, right? The same things are given here, the same codes which I showed you from where it is bootstrapping. Now, which companies are using AngularJS? Some of the companies I already told you, Google, Gmail, right? Now, these are some of the list of the companies which are using AngularJS still. Okay, so some of you must be wondering, like newer version came, then also people are using AngularJS. Why? Because AngularJS and the other versions are totally different. Okay, so people are companies are using AngularJS. Flipkart, Gmail, Upwork, PayPal, Samsung, YouTube, Nike, Sony, HBO, Microsoft. These all companies are using AngularJS still. Okay. Talking about advantages of AngularJS, you can already see lots of applications was there when I was talking about the features, right? The same thing is written here. The numbers of errors or issues will be minimal. It's a two-way binding. I showed you one of the binding example where I was using two curly brackets, right? That's what is binding. Routing, that means from one page to another web page. It is very easy for you when you're working with SPA, that is single page application, right? So routing is very important. Okay, let's quickly go to a very important topic, which is the current scope and future scope, which most of you are asking about me, right? Now, when you talk about current scope, you can see most of the companies are using AngularJS, right? Why they are doing that? Have a look in the history of versions which came, okay? Now, when you look at that, AngularJS, which is also called as Angular 1.x, aim to simplify both the development and testing phase of application. So it's an approach towards a framework which is very simpler when you are designing a single web page application. Okay, and that is what people are using now. Now, what is the future scope of it? Now, as you can see, in the growing years, Angular has been developed with so many innovations. If you can see here, Angular 2, it came up with mobile oriented. That means applications will be running in your mobile also. It provide more choices for languages like ES5, ES6 and TypeScript. Then came Angular 4, which reduced the size of the code. Then came Angular 5, Angular 6, where Angular CLI, you remember we installed Angular CLI, right? That got updated. New commands added in those. So every time you can see the Angular is updating themselves, right? Every time the new feature is coming in. The latest one is also having an IV compiler. Now, when we have a better compiler, that means better running speed, better, faster debugging, right? So that means development will also be very fast. Now, that is what is our future scope, right? And that is what people are doing. So in our future, people are using Angular 9 and they are creating web applications for single page applications using Angular 9, and maybe the updated versions will come later on. So they'll be using that also. Now, some of you are asking, what is the, is there a difference between AngularJS and Angular? Yes, there's a lot of difference between AngularJS and Angular, guys. The basics are similar, but the framework is totally different, okay? So please have a look. We'll be coming up with the courses for this also. Okay, let me quickly answer some questions for you. So do we need to install Bootstrap for this? For AngularJS, right now, whatever I have taught you, you don't have to download Bootstrap. If you want to use Bootstrap in your coding, like separately, you can install Bootstrap. You will be getting a CDN link. Okay, directly you can put that CDN link in your code, and you can use the Bootstrap. So all the Bootstrap features will be there. Okay, fine guys. At last, I will quickly introduce you to again this Great Learning Academy. I've already told you about this. So it is a free initiative by Great Learning in which you will get ample amount of courses. Okay, and you can quickly have a go through for this, these courses which is available. I'll just going to show you 1 second. Yes. So most of the demanded topics like data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, you can enroll it for free, and on completion you'll get a certificate. And please add it to your LinkedIn and resumes. It will add value to it, right? Quickly go through this link and complete the course, get the free certificates. Thank you so much for being there with me. Some problem happened in between, but it's live, so it happens. No problem. This video will be there in our video section. Please go and do watch it. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care.